You can make her regret losing you just by showing her that she is not that number one thing she could never be. That hurts her enough, but it's not about that. It's about you yourself and putting yourself first and what matters the most. And it's not woman, but a lot of fellas get lost in that. It has to be that woman, or it is woman. What is up, my BBossBaddies? Today we are going to be talking about the number one way to make her go ahead and regret losing you. So this number one way is not complicated. I feel like a lot of fellas overlook this number one way because they kind of focus on like, okay, well, if she looks so good, I can't get her. If she has a certain type of image, she's going to require so much. But little do you guys know that dealing with women nowadays, their expectations are high. They don't always get what they want. And most times they are just going based on, okay, I'll try this on a man. Now, I'm only saying this to say that, yes, you could come across a woman that has the typical looks that get most men, but it also means that that typical girl that gets the most men is dealing with her own issues that don't work. So it's almost saying that and this will make you guys understand way more what I'm trying to say, is that if you look absolutely good as a man, we're not talking about women no more. If you have money and status, you can have that. But because you have money and status, you could be a rich man. You could come across women, but they'll never commit to you as being attracted to you. They're only committing to you as your whole, money and status is giving them that commitment to stay around, right? So that's one aspect. And so that leads to, though, how it's gonna not have that woman and a man be together. So the real truth of it is, yes, you can deal with women and a man and get whoever or what you want, but how can you keep them around? And so now let's go ahead and get into the number one thing. And the number one way to go ahead and make a woman regret losing you, and trust me, listen, keep watching, you'll understand it way more. The number one way is having another thing become that value and become that value in your life, most importantly. But having another thing become in your life that value, whatever's gonna happen, that is a prize, is showing that that woman is not getting your attention. She is not gonna have nothing out of you. Women want attention from men. Men don't understand that nowadays, dealing with women, when they don't get that attention, you could be with a woman for so long. If she doesn't receive nothing out of you, she's gonna feel insecure. She's gonna feel like she's not having validation. She's not having that he's there. Now, for some women, they'll be like, okay, well, I don't need validation from a man. I don't need a man to tell me that I look good, which is true. But it also doesn't apply to the fact that if you're the important, and this is the part where, and this is my focus on this video, where you're trying to get her to regret losing you, if you're important enough, it's gonna matter to her. You can come across women that are beautiful all damn day long, but it doesn't mean nothing because women are coming across men all the time. The same way they get validated. You guys got to take it like this. Women are getting validated left and right, but why did they give you the attention? Why did they give you some sort of interest? There was a reason. So maybe it meant that, okay, you know what? You are more valuable than the other guys. But we have to stick on the point of why you're valuable more than the other guys. And then that's why it comes back to the woman. Women do absolutely feel like the prize. In the modern day, when we want to focus on, hey, you know what? A woman should be doing the cooking and the cleaning and those type of things, it's not going to be relevant because women are not focused on that. So I want you guys to bring your attention to however, what is going to matter at the end with a woman having a prize of being valuable enough to her life. She has to feel that valuable enough to bring it into her life based on your actions. So to backtrack on my fellas, if you don't have nothing valuable and it comes down to the woman that you are not showing attention to, which obviously won't be her, which will come down to what you have going on in your life, right? All those things, if it's not enough for this woman, you're not valuable enough for her to be valuable And I say valuable. For her, she's going to feel always valuable to herself, but valuable in her life. Don't let that fly over your head, okay? So, excuse me. So, to backtrack, let me get my burps out. So, to backtrack, if you're going to deal with a woman and you're going to feel like you're the valuable prize in the life, and you should feel like absolutely you are, it's not going to matter unless the actions are showing based on your end and then based on hers. So most times women will not value a man that has the status of what they want when it's not valuable in their life. So most times a man has to just strictly have another obsession be his life. And this is the part that fellas don't understand. When you have another obsession be your life, it's about the fact that you've taken another thing aside from women, which is what a lot of men make their main focus to be. They'll take something, the guys that have, you know what, multiple women, we can say it like that, they'll take something else to be their attention. Your goal is to show this woman that you are not focused on that whole idea of, I have to have you because you're going to be the prize in my life, or you're some sort of high value woman. You have to get that, like, women know that there's other beautiful women out here. They know that, you know what, you're going to come across another woman that has something else to offer you that is going to be beyond the looks. But women feel so entitled and feel so high value or feel so highly of themselves that it doesn't matter until you show them. So this is the part, and this is kind of getting closer. The end of my video is that a lot of you fellas have to just start with high valuing yourself. The value starts with yourself. A lot of times it just means that you guys haven't focused enough to understand that this woman doesn't need a man that is typically high value, but more so a man that recognizes how high value he is and what he's not willing to take from a woman. Although women can get men nowadays and in the, you know, more simple ways of just looking good, they still deal with the struggles of realizing what men are actually worth their time. Now, I know it sounds harsh, like, why would a woman struggle to realize that a man is worth her time when a man is showing her? The thing is, a lot of men are showing her. A lot of men are giving women enough, you know, thoughts of like, okay, you know what? This man is not good enough because I have another man that's doing this. So in order to show her that she should be giving your attention, she has to feel it based on her attention giving to you as not you giving it to anything else. But that's why it works so well to make her regret losing you, because when you give your attention to something else, she realizes that she's not as valuable. And that is where we have to stay at. If she doesn't feel as important or valuable, she will understand now that this whole time, well, I thought I was a prize. Now, it's not necessarily about her feeling that way, but the end result is gonna always be, and the way we'll wrap up with this video is, we're getting close to the end, it's gonna always be that she is not gonna get the fact that she's not as important as most men would want her to be in her life. So in conclusion, a lot of women that you're dealing with, they feel valuable for that woman, for that moment, right? They feel valuable for who they are, but it doesn't matter, because when they're dealing with you or dealing with the next guy, they see how their value is not as important. And that is the part where most fellas, or some fellas, I don't really want to specify on, I'm trying to, you know, get my words out, but I don't want to specify on what type of guys, but for the most part, I feel like guys will realize, okay, well, this woman is now trying to just do this with me, whether it's be around, just use me, set me up, try me, use me. I probably already said that. There's so many things that these women are gonna just be there for that moment. And I'm trying to find the right words once again. Be there for that moment for those reasons, right? So it's up to you guys, as you being your fella, being yourself, being your guy, looking out for yourself, understanding, don't think with your feelings as most women would. You're not a woman, but think more so what would be logic that is happening in the situation with her, and what is she trying to do with you. Okay, so now that I am at the end of my video, I want to go ahead and wrap up with the number one way to make her regret losing you in this whole video. I hope it wasn't complicated for you guys to get that. It comes back to you guys. It comes back to, like, if you're important enough in your own life, you're gonna make yourself be important enough, and that woman is gonna see that. So making her regret losing you is basically choosing yourself, right? Once you choose yourself, it might mean that you replaced her by, and I said this in the beginning of my video, by having something else to be your number one important thing, your high value thing. In order to make basically anybody regret losing you, you have to show that there's something more important besides them. And that's what hurts them the most. You just have to understand, with women, when they see that there is something more and that you're committed to that, it's gonna make them feel away. So my fellas, it's not difficult. And so when you're dealing with women, understand that number one way to make her regret losing you, it's based on, let me say it like that. That number one way is based on because you have now dedicated that other thing that's more important besides her. Now, it's not going to always be another woman, or it's not going to be, that next job. But it could also be maybe you just started getting in the gym and now you're consistent, right? That number one thing is just going to be always that other option besides her. And that is the point. You have to make something be way greater than that woman because she feels so entitled and she feels that high value. When you break a woman down, there's multiple ways to do it, but it's not because you're trying to break her down. It's just trying to get her to understand. And so a lot of fellas have to understand that to just get her to realize things is based on you realizing things in your life because you are putting yourself first. So fellas, make sure you go out there, get your number one thing going by just dedicating yourself to your own life, because you owe that to yourself, not the woman. Don't be so invested and so concentrated on making her feel pleased and that you have to deliver her needs, as I should say, and that's just based on you being there for her. You can make her regret losing you just by showing her that she is not that number one thing, she could never be. That hurts her enough, but it's not about that. It's about you yourself and putting yourself first and what matters the most. And it's not woman, but a lot of fellas get lost in that. It has to be that woman, or it is woman. Okay, so get it straight with your own life, because once you do, you'll know and you're gonna be good. The bad, honestly, you won't have these words to worry about. Okay, so I really hope this video was helpful, and I know it could have been like here and there, and it was, you know, there's a lot of points that I felt like I had to touch on, but I hope it was still helpful. You guys let me know what types of videos you guys would like to see from a girl, and yes, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and you guys will see me in my next video. Bye guys.